Hello everybody, Tyrone TG3 here. So, we got a lot of video game / anime news recently, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about it for two reasons. One, the stream that I planned on doing today just wasn't working out due to some maintenance that we're doing on frame rates and internet. And two, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and don't worry, Pokemon Horizon review is coming on its way, as well as some of these streams that I've done on the Twitch channel. But a lot of information we've gotten hit with video games and anime have come out recently. So I wanted to go ahead and just take a moment to talk about those things. We already talked about Palworld recently. And if you haven't already, check out Terrell and I's collab stream. He already uploaded his part, but I'm going to upload my part soon at some point. So make sure you go check that out. We talked about Palworld. We talked about how it compares to, well, Pokemon, one of the things that I do play. And the other two bits of information are about Sonic and Dragon Ball. So I wanted to go ahead and put my 2 cents in the ring because I love these things. So obviously, if I love these things and I'm passionate about them, I want to talk about them. So with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and tackle the shortest trailer first, only because we've only gotten this information recently. It's fresh, and that means my thoughts are fresh, and I can go ahead and get them out there. So today, or at least at the time of this recording, we got hit with Sonic Generations again, but not just any Sonic Generations. We got hit with Sonic X Shadow. Please don't Google that alone. Sonic X Shadow Generation. So essentially what this is if I had to put it bluntly, it's almost like a mod. It's like, yeah, obviously there's actual effort and put into it with Sonic Team, and we're going to be seeing more concrete stuff in it, hopefully. But it's essentially what modders have been doing for years. They added Shadow to Sonic Generations. Now, obviously it's very clear this feels more like a DLC or an add-on than anything else, but there's no other way to play Sonic Generations as of this point, except if you had an Xbox 360, a PS3, or play it on Steam. Those are the only ways you can play Sonic Generations. And obviously that also means that the anniversary for this game is going to be out. And what better way to do it than to add Sonic's second, darker, edgier half. And obviously we get to play, I'm curious how this is going to lay out. I'm guessing in some levels we'll get to play as Classic Sonic, obviously, that's Act 1. Act 2 would be Sonic, modern Sonic himself. And then I'm guessing there'll be an Act Shadow, which either A, lets you play Shadow in Sonic's old levels, which I'm not sure how that works. That'd be weird. It's got nothing to do with Shadow. Like Sky Sanctuary, Shadow he was still asleep at the Ark, I think, at this time. Anyway, I'm sure this will allow you to play as Shadow. I don't know if there's going to be that many differences between Sonic and Shadow. Like gameplay-wise, is he literally just going to be a skin? Which is probably why they're doing this, because it's easy to just make a skin rather than make a whole nother character with different mechanics. Or are they going to give Shadow moves? And if so, will the game be built around the idea that he can do that? Like, for example, he can do Chaos Control, which freezes time. Does that help anything in this level? Probably not, but he can do it. For the levels that include Shadow, or at least the games and the eras that include Shadow, that's obviously the modern era, or the Dreamcast era somewhat. He wasn't available in Sonic Adventure 1. He wasn't even a concept yet in that game. So my guess is you'll probably just wind up doing Speed Highway with Shadow, which I don't mind that. But then you get right into Radical Highway, which is another goddamn city level. And yes, that was my problem with Sonic Generations the first time around. Jesus, Crisis Core, City Escape, Speed Highway, Spagonia. Like, goddamn, that's 4 city levels. And now we get Radical Highway. That's a 5th one. And it's actually kind of funny because Radical Highway was a level in Sonic Generations 3DS version. But Sonic and Classic Sonic were in that game, which makes 0 sense for that level because Sonic nor Classic Sonic were in Radical Highway. Like, modern Sonic wasn't in Radical Highway, so why was he in Radical Highway in a game? Now Radical Highway's there and Shadow's there, which is good, but it's like, what? I don't know, it's weird. That remix is gonna be nice, I'm sure. I'm sure that remix is gonna be nice, which is also weird because in Sonic Forces, we get a remix of Radical Highway and Westopolis in Sonic Forces. One thing I do want to, I am excited for, well, 2 things actually. The first one thing I love to do in Sonic Generations when I beat it last time was when I like to go, get the music. There was ways you could go like do bonus missions and get music. That way you can change the music while you're playing. Like for example, I can play the Leaf Storm zone, but I can play that in Green Hill zone if I wanted to. Like I can change the music to that, which makes sense. They're both leafage first level greenery levels, so it only makes sense that you would change the music to fit that environment. What I hope for is we get like Frog Jungle or whatever from Sonic Heroes. Like get that level in there and then change that music to White Jungle, and that'd be kind of cool because then you can like have the hey like that song. That'd be pretty cool. I think that would be a nice addition to that. The other thing I'm really hyped for is fighting BioLizard. Out of all, like, yeah, is this idea kind of lazy? Kinda. Is it pandering? Oh, most definitely. But I do like the idea of fighting BioLizard again. Only because Perfect Chaos got an upgrade. And honestly, I think that upgrade cinematically was good. The fight itself was meh, but cinematically it looks good. It's a good, like, advancement to Chaos. So it's really cool to see Shadow fight BioLizard, and BioLizard's theme, Life Supporting Me or whatever, yeah, like Supporting Me, that remix is gonna be good. Now granted, we already got a good remix of Supporting Me in Sonic Forces, but woo-wee, this remix is gonna be fire. I can't wait. I can only imagine. It's gonna be good. Also, I imagine that if you use Shadow in this one, you can do either fight between Sonic and Shadow. Like back then, you could only use Sonic to fight Shadow in the rival fight, which means I can only imagine that in this one, you can switch between either or. You can fight Sonic or you can fight Shadow. Like you can switch back and forth, which makes sense because essentially that's how the fight went in the original game. I feel that in the modern era, do we call this modern era anymore? Do we call this pre-modern, post-modern? What do we call this? Anyway, I feel that in the modern era, Shadow should have a different rival fight. So you know how Sonic fights off against Silver and their modern deal? I think Shadow should fight Mephiles. I think that would be a good rival fight because that was Shadow's main villain in 06. Shadow's the one that fought Mephiles. Sonic didn't even fight Mephiles. In fact, Sonic didn't even see Mephiles until like the butt end of the game when he got stabbed. So I think that would be a really good rival fight to fight Mephiles. I think that would be really good. I think that'd be a really nice one. And as far as that, I also see that Black Doom is making an appearance. We saw it not just because of Shadow's logo, doing the Shadow the Hedgehog with the Black Doom logo on the circle, but I also see that Black Doom is there. He's in the cutscene, which means we obviously are going to fight him. And I see that we're doing the Final Chase level, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see Final Chase. Wait, yeah, is it Final Chase? Yeah, Shadow did Final Chase. Sonic did Final Rush. Yeah, well, the idea is that Sonic is rushing through the level to get to the cannon's core to stop the cannon while Shadow is chasing Sonic. Final Chase, Final Rush. That makes sense. So obviously those levels in the game, Radical Highway's in the game. I really wish that White Jungle could make it in. I think White Jungle would be a great addition, just as a good Shadow level. Or I'm pretty sure Shadow's going to be playable in Crisis City because both of them wound up in Crisis City at that time. In fact, they were both doing it at the exact same time, so it would make absolutely all the sense in order for them. Shadow didn't make an appearance in Colors, so we don't have to worry about that, or Unleash. I'm curious, they'll probably just allow you to use Shadow in those levels as like a shits and giggles thing, just like classic Sonic. I pretty much see how that's going down. I am curious how they're going to do the Time Eater thing. I think they're mostly just going to do the game the exact way it is, but Shadow stuff is extra. I don't trust Sonic Team to make new cutscenes that include Shadow. I think they did that as a fun little promotion for the trailer, but outside of that, I think it's literally just a remastered version of Sonic Generations, now with Shadow added on to it. That's pretty much what I see. That's essentially what we're looking at. And honestly, other than the BioLizard fight, I think that's like the only thing I'm really legitimately excited about. So, with that being said, though, the next thing we need to talk about, obviously, and if you know me, you know I've been talking about this for a while anyway, but we got a trailer during the Dragon Ball Battle Hour of Dragon Ball's Sparking Zero. So we get the Budokai Tenkaichi 4 / Dragon Ball Sparking Zero trailer. And honestly, I'm a little underwhelmed. Yep. I know. Hey, I know. I'm sorry. Hold your applause. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna give it its benefit of the doubt here and say that this is like a very, very beta, like the beta. I'm talking, hell, even a gamma, I don't know. But this has got to be early footage. First of all, we're reusing sound clips, which, I feel like if they were gonna reuse sound clips, fine. But reuse Raging Blast 2 sound clips, because Sean Schimmel's still saying Kaioken instead of Kaioken. It's Kaioken. Kaioken times 3! Yeah! Like, that's what it's supposed to be. It's weird that he's saying Kaioken, especially now that Sean Schimmel's long since corrected that. The models look a little stiff, too. Like, I think they did a really good job with the cell shading. The cell shading looks good. But ooh, these models are stiff. I can tell that when Goku used the Meteor Impact attack, the one where he like kicks and then does that like side kick. The same move he used on Frieza, essentially, when he went Super Saiyan. Yeah, that looks stiff as hell. When Goku does that little battle pose when he's about to fight Vegeta, his hair for some reason is still blown in the wind before it actually blows in the wind. Because the way it goes is Goku's hair is normal, and then when he does the battle pose, the wind's supposed to blow, and it blows his hair like a whoosh, like it's supposed to do that. But it didn't do that. His hair was already in the blown state, as if the wind had already blew before the wind had actually blew. So that looks kind of jarring. Giant characters show up in the form of Vegeta turning into an Ozaru. I never really cared for giant characters at all. They look wonky as hell, and when you control them, they're very slow and not my cup of tea. Giant characters were really only there to like be a nice little like flavorful add-on. Like imagine Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi as a cake. Giant characters with those little chocolate shavings that'll be on the cake. It's nice that it's there, but you can do without them. Never really. I think Hirudegan was the only giant character I feel like that was worth a damn. Other than that, realistically, I don't like that roster, and I tweeted this on Twitter a while back. I do not like that roster. That roster looks janky as hell. I said this before, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and 2 did it best. Tenkaichi 2's problem was that it was inverse, so up is down and down is up. But Tenkaichi 3 fixed that problem and made up, up, and down, down. So when you flip through it, it goes through the characters based on which the saga are, or the characters that are related. Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Vegeta, Tien. Mostly from Dragon Ball and / early Z, so they all fit in that little slot. When you move the slot, you get mid Goku, you get Gohan parentheses teen, but he's not really a teen, he's Gohan Youth, I guess, if you want to call him that. There was Gohan Youth, Piccolo again, or like Vegeta, but this time it's like second form Vegeta. He's a good guy at this point, he's not Scouter Vegeta. Yeah, and then they would line it up just like that. It was like all the Majin Buu forms were in one column, all the Cell and like the androids were in another, Frieza and the Ginyu Force were in another with King Cole and stuff. Like, it was all sectioned to where you could easily find what you were looking for. And once you had your main characters, you can flip through them, and it would make enough sense. Even Raging Blast 1 and 2, for as weird as their roster looked, it at least had some level of, like, smoothness to it. This roster, at least I hope this isn't the roster, but the roster from what we see now just looks like a bunch of tiny hexagonals all clumped together with weirdly unrecognizable pictures of each of the characters if they're zoomed out far enough. It's a mess. It is a gosh darn mess. I will say Super Saiyan God Red, Vegeta, and Blue look good, and this is one of the first Dragon Ball games where we get to play as God Red form, with the exception of Battle of Z. Nobody remembers Battle of Z, unfortunately. Don't worry. I do. I remember Battle of Z, because I have Battle of Z somewhere in here. Hell you at? Oh, there it is. Don't worry. I remember Battle of Z. Anyway, with that being said, I think the only other game that includes God Red Goku is Xenoverse. Yay. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But I'm gonna be honest, like, I think the problem literally was that they called this the Rivals trailer, which, okay, fine, you've got a theming. Why Goku and Vegeta, though? Like, show off their red forms, fine, because we've never seen their red forms frequently enough in video games. But why show just Goku and Vegeta? Tenkaichi's the game where it's like, ooh, look at all these characters we have in one game. So, you want to know what you should do? Oh, I don't know. Show off Bergamo, show off Hit, show off Beerus and Whis, because they've never really been in a game except Battle of Z, Xenoverse, Kakarot, which I forgot to include Kakarot in that Super Saiyan Red thing. Like, show them off. Like, don't, bro, show off Kale and Khalifa, show off Kefla, show off Kaba, show off some characters that never got seen in a Tenkaichi game. Don't show us the same two characters over and over. Show off Yamcha and Tien for the sake. If you want to make a Rivals thing, fine. Show off Yamcha and Tien fighting each other in some. Show off Gohan and like Videl or something as a cute little like fight for them. Show off Trunks and Goten, like, and then show a grown Trunks and Goten to blow people's minds. Nope, we don't get any of that. We just get Goku and Vegeta again. Come on, again. Oh, don't do this to me. But anyway, other than all of that, I'm keeping my, as far as Sparking Zero goes, I'm still getting the game. I've already said it. I pre-ordered mine a long time ago. I'm actually, for the note for you guys, I'm actually getting my PS5 and Sparking Zero the same day. I wanted them to be a bundled package. But I'm not hype. I am optimistically cautious. I think that's the best way to describe it. And throughout the months, when we get more information, as well as when I think of more things that I want to write down, I'm definitely going to start talking about some stuff that I want for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero later in the future. But as far as that goes, that's two of the things that we got in the video game world that are at least mostly relevant to the stuff that I do with the Sonic and Dragon Ball. And then we already talked about Power World. I'll be uploading that video at some point, the one that I did with the Insane Game Freak. So with that all being said, mostly to round it up, things are looking pretty decent. The only other thing to look forward to at this point, I think, is Persona 3 Reload, which I more than likely will be getting because I'm a Persona fan ever since I played Persona 5 Royal. I'm digging it. I think I might go ahead and add it to my collection. I think it'd be a really nice addition to my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and pick me up Persona 3 Royal. The game's looking good from what I see so far. I never played the original one, obviously, but I did watch TSS's playthrough of Persona 3, which included all of the stuff. It was Persona 3 Fest, which honestly, I really liked his stream of it. So I'm more or less excited about the things that are coming video game wise, that are at least in the section of things that I play. So with that all being said, don't worry, more Dragon Ball information coming with Sparking Zero, as well as a couple of my other streams coming up on the channel as well. And we're also looking forward to some stuff regarding the future news for Sonic and Shadows Generation. So that being said, I'll see y'all then, everybody. Tyrone TG3 out tour. It happens to millions of people every year. People try to avoid it. People try to distract themselves from it. It comes for all and leaves no mercy for anyone. Boredom. Every time people are hit with boredom, they lose a bit of themselves, looking through their phones, hovering over the endless sea known as the internet. But rest assured, there is one channel that can cure you of boredom, and it starts with TG3. Actually, it ends with TG3. The first part's Tyrone.
Yeah, I'm happy because that was my anime.
I need to watch There's a bunch of Yes!
Yeah, we can't make it. Yeah, we're not Sonic. We're not. I come in with blue eyes. I got something for your blue eyes, boy.